have to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear some people gone, so tell all your friends to tune in to the
Good evening,
show.
Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to July. We're there. We survived June, and happy 1st of July. Welcome, welcome one and all to my friends and family near and far. How are you doing on this hump day Wednesday? And how have you ushered in the month of July? Because guess what? I'm giving thanks every day, every hour, every second. But it's that time for me to welcome you to another episode of Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. I'm your host, Sabrina. For those of you just joining me for the first time, welcome. It's good to have you. And please, please do come back. And on today's episode of Sabrina Speaks, just to set the tone and to let you know why you're here, and hopefully it's because you saw the flyer and you're interested in making sure you know etiquette. How to dine, how to prepare for that new job. Yeah, don't let me just take the wind out of your sail, but I'm inviting you to sit down. Yes, we're going to have a sit down. Well, not really, but you know how it goes. We're going to be having a conversation, nevertheless, with etiquette educator Melanie Syms, who is founder of Miss Polished. And we're going to be hearing and being able for her to explain to us as we explore how young people can build the skills they need to shine in social, academic, and professional settings. You know what? Not only young people need those and young adults, I think some of us adults, you need to stick around as well, because we can always perfect our craft. So whether you're a teen that is preparing for university, you're a college student maybe that is navigating campus life, or maybe even a young adult that is stepping into the workforce, Polish Presence Etiquette Week 2026 is here, and it's going to be offering practical tools that make a real difference. And later on in the show around 5:30, Melanie is going to be breaking down these essentials of communication skills, first impressions, introduction and networking, interview preparations, personal presentation, and even dining etiquette. Even that. Yes, she's going to be including the guided dining etiquette experience. Guess where? At Blue Cilantro. So you're in for a surprise here this evening. We're going to try to pitch it in a sense where we can engage in a conversation so you picture yourself being there, and she's going to tell you how you can definitely get locked in. So parents, you know, this program, I invite all of you to stay in tune because it's going beyond academics here this evening on the Sabrina Speaks platform as we help our young people show up confidently, communicate clearly, and make positive impressions when opportunities arise. But before we get into all of that, you know how it goes. The views expressed by callers, guests, and online commenters are their own, not those of Bridge Media Limited, its affiliates, the Sabrina Speaks Show, or the host. This program is for general information only and not a substitute for legal, medical, financial, or professional advice. Now, all participants are reminded to speak responsibly and respectfully. Any content that is defamatory, discriminatory, unlawful, or harmful is strictly prohibited and will not be endorsed or tolerated. Continuing to stream us from wherever you're going, even calling us or sending us a WhatsApp live. Yes, that participation implies acceptance to this disclaimer. 345-936-8255 is the number to call to join in on the conversation. And like I said, you feel free to send me a WhatsApp there as well. Continue to make sure you like, follow, and share the page with your friends so that you're always, one, notified, and two, that you're never missing an episode of Sabrina Speaks as we continue to build this space here one episode at a time. Welcome, welcome, one and all. I see you coming in. Yes, it's good to have you here, and I'm excited to get over in that corner. But let me just tell you, I heard some rumbling here in Prospect a few seconds ago, and rumbling of thunder. Oh, please, God knows it's been hot as the hinges of hell, and I am no longer taking the blame. Yeah, it's the weather. I had a joke today earlier on. I was out and about on the street and I saw another lady. She was just coming in and she was blowing. And then I said, girl, don't blame yourself. It's the weather. And two of us just cracked up there. So we're making lightheartedness of it. But I'm like, don't blame yourself. It is the weather. So for that moment, we could say, yes, it's the weather. Well, talking about weather, let's take a look at what's making the weather forecast for tonight and into tomorrow, thanks to our friends over there at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. The synopsis is calling for residual moisture and localized instability will support late afternoon isolated showers with possibility of thunder. Now, another tropical wave should be in the vicinity on Thursday, maintaining the chance of showers. And radar imagery shows a few showers to the southwest of Grand Cayman, as well as over the sister islands. The forecast for this evening, nevertheless, it is tonight, calls for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the low 80s and winds will be northeast to east 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tomorrow's forecast is calling for occasional cloudy spells with a 30% chance of showers and also possible thunder. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s with a heat index of near 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, winds will be easterly 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. There will be a low tide this evening at 11:15, a high tide at 11:15, low tide at 5:26 a.m. tomorrow, and another high tide at 10:38. Sun will set this evening at 7:06, and sun will rise tomorrow morning at 5:52. The outlook is calling for occasional showers can continue through Saturday as instability lingers across the area due to the passage of another tropical wave to the south of the area. Possible favorable conditions due to the presence of an upper level trough. Now, should that develop into anything, we'd be more than happy to keep you updated with all of that. And definitely, you know how we do it here. It always pays to stay in touch with your local media sources for the latest updates, and we'll be bringing it to you here as well. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks, broadcasting from the beautiful Cayman Islands. And yes, it's hot, but we're island people. We're used to it, but this is really something to think about. Let's take a look at what's making the news this evening here on the Sabrina Speaks platform, starting with some congratulatory messages, definitely, and local news for that. Yes, acting Deputy Governor Gloria McField-Nixon today announced Laura Knight as the new Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service effective August 17th. Ms. Knight succeeds Mrs. McField-Nixon, bringing more than a decade of leadership across governance, HR policy, accountability, and public sector reform. She has led major initiatives, including the anti-bullying and discrimination policy, expanded parental leave benefits, and the comprehensive overhaul of disciplinary regulations. As certified international auditor and workplace mediator, Ms. Knight says she is honored to step into the role and committed to delivering world-class public service for the Cayman Islands. Congratulations, Lauren. Looking and hoping for the best as you embark on this new chapter in the civil service. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is seeking public's assistance in locating a wanted man, Andy Miles, age 39. Miles is described as about 5'7" tall, brown skin, and believes to be homeless while moving between locations in Georgetown and West Bay. He is wanted in connection with multiple burglary and robbery incidents and is considered dangerous. Police advise the public not to approach him, but to note his location and call 911. Information can also be provided to the Georgetown Police Station at 949-4222 or anonymously through the RCIPS confidential tip line or Cayman Crime Stoppers. In other local news this evening, we turn our focus over and put the spotlight on Cayman's rock iguanas. Yes, I'm talking Cayman's rock iguanas in Little Cayman and Cayman-Brac remain under serious threat, with the Department of Environment reporting 78 road deaths in Little Cayman in just the first half of 2026. A record high for the critically endangered species. Now, drivers are being urged to slow down, stay alert, and give way to wildlife, especially within the 25-mile-per-hour zones. Now, anyone hits an iguana or sees one on the road is asked to report it to the National Trust at 923-8072 or the Department of Environment at 916-5849. Now, officials says that protecting these iconic animals requires everyone's vigilance. Youth parliamentarians convene tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the inaugural Summer Youth Parliament debate. Now, they'll tackle a private member's motion calling for limits on social media use for children under 16, presenting arguments for and against based on their own research. The motion was passed in Parliament earlier this year, and the session will be broadcast live on CIG YouTube channel and CIG cable channels. Always exciting and looking forward to their participation for sure tomorrow. As we turn our focus over into what news is making international and regional news here this evening, we turn our attention to starting with the UK. Yes. As Colonel-in-Chief, the King has unveiled a new statue in West Princess Street Gardens to mark the 20th anniversary of the Royals Regiment of Scotland. The bronze lion, designed by Edinburgh sculptor Kenneth Hunter, rests atop a plinth of 6 sections symbolizing Scotland's historic infantry regiments. Now, in his remarks, His Majesty reflected on 2 decades of service and a lineage dating back to 1633, calling the regiment's continuity a living testament to duty, resilience, and unwavering commitment. As we head our way over to Trinidad this evening, we see Trinidad Ministry of Health has welcomed a visiting delegation from Barbados led by Seniors Minister Senator Dr. Jerome Walcott for a courtesy visit aimed at strengthening regional collaboration in healthcare. Now, the team met with Trinidad and Tobago's Health Minister Larkham Bode and Minister Dr. Sheerhan before touring the Port of Spain General Hospital Central Block and the St. James Medical Complex. Now, the visit supports Barbados plans to expand the Queen Elizabeth Hospital and deepens bilateral cooperation in health infrastructure, workforce development, and digital health. The ministry says this remains a commitment of partnership to strengthen Caribbean health system. So that news is out of Barbados this evening. Other news out of Barbados is that we see where Barbados Justice Pamela Beckles has sharply criticized persistent delays in the court proceeding caused by late arrival of prisoners from Dobbs prisons. Now, she raised a concern during recent hearings, noting that repeated disruptions are affecting the efficient administration of justice. Justice Beckles stressed that timely transport of detainees is essential for cases to proceed as scheduled and called for immediate corrective action to prevent further setbacks within the judicial system. Great Britain News this evening is reporting anti-immigration protests across South Africa, where thousands have been taken to the streets demanding mass deportations. Now, demonstrators voiced frustration over what they describe as rising pressure on public services and employment, calling for stricter enforcement of immigration laws. The protests, which unfold in several cities, prompted a visible police presence as authorities monitored the large crowds. Officials have not yet commented on any planned government response, but the demonstrations highlights the growing tensions around mitigation policy in the country. As we look and wind down this section of Sabrina Speaks, we take a look at today's markets closing for today, July 1st. Markets closed mixed today as investors weighed softer manufacturing data and pullback in major tech names. Now, the Dow edged at 0.03%, while the S&P 500 slipped 0.22%, and the Nasdaq fell 0.66% on continued pressure in semiconductors. In the region, we see Jamaica Stock Exchange ended lower with declines across the combined and junior market indices. In the Cayman Islands, Stock Exchange reported normal operations with no published closing summary for today. Now, there you have it. That concludes our news and market summary for today. And for those of you who are following the World Cup and for the latest, last night was something, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. I saw something in circulation on TikTok. I shared it in my family chat just now. The games are going to be big. Oh, my gosh, this evening. And yeah, I'm looking forward for those. If I could have shared that video with you just for it, When the Roll is Called Up Yonder, that's the song that they were playing. And look, it is something. All I could do was to laugh. But here we have it for the World Cup results for the first today. England delivered the headline result today, coming from behind to beat DR Congo 2-1, powered by the second half brace from Harry Kane. Now, earlier in the day, Mexico advanced comfortably. That was yesterday, 2-0 win over Ecuador, securing their place in the round of 16. Now, other fixtures on schedule includes Belgium's versus Senegal and USA tonight versus Bosnia-Herzegovina, both set for later. And, we're going to be looking out for that this evening. Yeah. I wonder, remember I told you that story as we end this segment of Sabrina Speaks? Remember I told you that story of the dog? His name was Gorda, who was missing for months, and they found him they saw him on a social media post where he was just celebrating Mexico's win. Now, I'm wondering whatever happened to Gorda, because he must have been celebrating. He's celebrating like a rock star wherever he is right now. I'm really going to try to keep tabs on Gorda to see exactly if they're going to make this guy continue to celebrate. Why not? It is something. Even the dogs are getting into all of the joy and happiness that is happening around the world. Why not? Isn't it? Just brings a smile on your face. Let's say happy birthday to all of those persons who are celebrating a birthday today. Maybe you're celebrating an anniversary as well, or you're just celebrating life, whatever it is, we're celebrating along with you and wishing you many, many more. Yes. So happy birthday to everyone and happy anniversary. Happy life. Yes, we're above ground and we have so much to be thankful for. And we have to remember those who are mourning the loss of a loved one. I know Cayman Brack this morning. My thoughts and prayers go out to the Turner family and Spot Bay Cayman Brack. The entire Cayman Brack is feeling this loss of Brother Turner's wife. Philip, may his soul rest in peace, left us later last year, and now his mom went away peacefully. Reports are being received of her passing. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Turner family as they and so many more in the Cayman Islands are mourning mom's loss over there in the BRAC, but mourning others are mourning the loss of a loved one in their family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you. And once we get the information on Miss Turner, all the arrangements, we will definitely be more happy to share those with you as well. And I want to say we go straight out of that and go straight into congratulatory greetings and messages to all of those graduates who graduated. And again, I want to wish you all success in the next chapter of your life, wherever that leads you. You're going to continue to study, continue to expand and invest in your education. We're here with you. We're here to support you. And no matter what, we're here. All the best to you and whatever you decide moving forward. Yep. Let's see what's going on. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. 1st of July. Yes, and Farm to Table is definitely coming up. We are heading into a long weekend and there's lots that's going to be happening. But Farm to Table is tomorrow evening at Cayman Cabana. Please remember that. And you got to book reservations. It's $65 per person. And it's amazing the overwhelming turnout that they got last week. I must say that much. Ooh, got some breaking news here. Just let me get this. Thank you. Love you like cooked food. Oh yeah. Love you like cooked food. Let me share this. So yeah, head on down to Cayman Cabana. If you don't have reservations, you want to call them to make sure you get all your reservations. And so that you can make sure that you partake in all of those goodness that is going to be down there. And this is happening every Thursday evening for the record. So you want to make sure you go and book that. And we know what's happening on Friday the 3rd from 6 to 9. If you haven't already gotten your ticket, Mango Fest, we're celebrating this. And this dinner is going to be at Catalina Hotel Indigo, $30 a person. And on Saturday, 4th of July, from 5 until 8 at Georgetown in the area of the Cayman Islands National Museum on the waterfront. This event, however, is free. And we're going to transform Georgetown as we celebrate Mango Fest. Where's Harry this evening? You got a plan to come, Cayman, around this time. But I don't know if you can deal with the heat. Oh, dear Jesus. But yeah, Harry, you ain't short of mangoes here, and you don't have to Amazon these either. So there you go. Harry, just making light note there and troubling our dear friend in the UK, Harry. And there's also a charity 5K run walk. More than just a race, this is taking place on Saturday, the 4th of July, starting from Safe Haven. And that kicks off at 5:45, and the race will begin at 6:30. Now, please note that registration is for adults, which is 16 and older. It's considered an adult, is $25. And for children, which is under 16, is $15. And you can see the thing here. Make sure you can go on and register to this. And we are going to, I was hoping to get somebody on to talk about this. I'm not going to give up. Maybe I can reach out if we can get somebody on for 5-10 minutes to talk more about this. I'd be more than happy to hear that for sure, to get some more insights on that. So there you have it on what's going on for this weekend, some of this weekend's activities. I'm quite sure I'll get some more tomorrow as we get closer to the weekend. Let's say hello and big shout outs to our friends who are always very vocal. Bunanunas. Yes, she's gotten a new name now. Connie Bonnie is no longer Connie Bonnie. She's Bunanunas. Connie is with us, and she says, "Good evening, my beautiful Auntie Sabrina Turner, community activist," and also extending that to everyone else. She is just clicking those glasses and kicking her heels up. It's so good to have you as well. And look at there, just might as well. She's one of the content creators in Bloom. And look at this beautiful orchid that she has shared with us today. Oh, yeah. She has shared that with us today. Thank you so much. That is gorgeous. Yep. Miss Barbara G., good evening to you as well. Always good to have you here. Green Valley Nursery is in the house too. Yeah. She's here, Donnie. But Oh, dear Jesus. Look at, but no. Guess what? You were talking about somebody today. We were talking about you, and you can find out who it is. Some people share flowers, and you have to have, like when you have children and some, I said, share with me beautiful scenery, flowers. Some have chosen tropical fruit, but there is always one rogue student, one rogue child, one rogue sibling that they may not have a flower picture, but they sent me an image of what they are indulging in right now. And look at this. So this is not flowers. This is not a beautiful scenery. That's what they decided to send me. Now, it could only be the one, the only who? That's the man. That's what Alfred Real has sent in for his picture today. He said he ain't got no pictures, but he's definitely sending me what he is diving into right now. Congratulations to you. But if you send me a description of what it is, we're going to try to make it out. It's something, is it Spanish? Is it what? It's pork. I see beans. Tell us what it is. Tell us what it is. Is it carne asada? I don't know what that is. But it looks delicious, nevertheless. And oh my God, if you cut away all of that this evening, oh, Alfred, I will see you totally different. Oh my goodness. Well, there you have it. That's Alfred keeping us on our feet, definitely going. God, he said, so the match starts. Oh, so the match start. Really? Which one? Oh, okay. Well, I know you're going to be one eye there, air here. You just one of those. I need to put you on an assignment because you're like an octopus. You got tentacles. That's fine, my love. Just keep us updated with the results, please, and let us know who's playing. Miss Lucille from the UK, it's 11:28 over there now. Good night, almost. Morning to you. It's good to have you. Good evening, my girl. Blessings for Cayman Islands and our people. Stay safe. Love, I think that was meant. Love you all. Love you too, my love. Aliano, what's up? Are you doing well? Continuing to be on the men? I hope the family is good for you as well. Which beach you say you be on? Which beach it is? Which beach? Jerry Springer Beach. Oh my gosh. Damian Henry is also joining us this evening. He's saying, good evening, all setbacks. And here's his word of encouragement today. He says, setbacks and hardships. Yet these difficult experiences often become a source of our greatest growth, resilience, and wisdom. Many people emerge stronger, not despite their struggle, but because of them finding strength, purpose, and courage in the lessons they have learned. You're so true. That's true. And my short on that is there's always a silver lining in everything. You just got to look for it. Yep. Yeah, you said Aliano is telling us the rain is falling off the south of the island. Oh, really? Okay. All right. I see you, my guest. Let me pull you in the background, my love. Let me pull you in the back. There we go. Soon come to you. There you go. So yeah, Aliano is there. Thank you, south of the island. Thank you for giving us that. Did you do this? Okay. Oh, he sent us another one? Okay. The scars we carry are not always signs of weakness. Often they are proof that we endure, adapted, and continue moving forward when giving up would have been easier. As Ernest Hemingway wrote, the world breaks everyone, and afterwards, many are strong at the broken places. Some shuffle the deck, embrace the card you pick, and play it with confidence, because it is not the hand you're dealt with that defines you, but how you choose to play it. You go there. Man, you're getting good at this stuff. Thank you, my love, Damien, for sharing that with us. Oh, Lord. See? Yeah, Connie Bonnie, watch him. Good evening, Auntie Sabrina. After he did that foolishness with me trying to tease us with this plate of whatever the heck it is. You see? Yes, Mr. Duster. You got it right, Connie. You got it. Cuban food, they're saying it is. Mm-hmm. Alfred really, oh, he says carne asada with Mexican rice and beans with mushrooms. You got a boyfriend. I got to check you out. I got to dig into your portfolio. I got to get into your business. North Carolina Love is in the house as well. Good evening, Marshall. How are you? It's so good to have you here with us. Connie is rolling with laughter. Hey, Miss Darlene. It's good to have you join us. Getting ready to learn how to polish up or get our young people ready because we're going to hear a lot about etiquette this evening. Yeah. So, Connie, keep us up to date with the scores. You can either WhatsApp them or you can put them, you know what? List them in the comments below so people can do that because we got a lot to unpack here this evening and we don't want to keep our guest waiting. Oh, no, we don't. No, 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 no. But for those of you who are just joining us, welcome and good evening. Yes, around the world, because we know I see my people here. Thank you for the WhatsApp, guys, from all the way in Australia. Yeah, they're tuning in, but I got the private message, so don't worry about that. But tonight we're going to be diving, as I said, into something strong, something that is important, and something that I feel every parent, every young adult, and honestly, every professional should care about. And what I'm talking about is presence. Not just how you look, but how you communicate, how you carry yourself, and how you show up in rooms where opportunities live. And in this episode of Sabrina Speaks, I am pleased to be joined and inviting as our first time guest on this platform. And I'm hoping it will not be the last. I will say it will not be the last. We're going to be putting the spotlight on a program that is being quietly transforming young persons into confident, capable, polished individuals ready for university, the workplace, and life itself. And what I'm going to do is to just bring my guest into the studio because we're going to be talking about Polished Presence Etiquette Week of 2026. And that's going to be led by our guest, who I will invite in the virtual studio at this time, Miss Melanie Syms. Good evening, Melanie, and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I am a newbie here with you, first time, and it will not be my last.
Oh, good. Well, yes, it is a pleasure to have you on the platform. And I know that the Sabrina Speaks family is definitely looking forward to this and learning and hearing more about what you have to tell us about this program, what's in store, what we can expect. I have been actually promoting it as a live read, but it's nothing better than someone like yourself telling us about it. And I'm just so happy that you took the time out to join us here and for us to hear it directly from you, to get people prepared, excited, engaged, and definitely seeing the registration skyrocket because that is still ongoing and people are not late. So, yeah. So let's get straight into it, Melanie. You can exhale. We're good. That's one thing I love about this space. If you're just comfortable, you're just having a conversation. Please don't be distracted with the comments that could come in. We would, and the phone lines will be open if people wanted to ask additional questions. That's fine. And if they don't, maybe we will post them up as well. But that's good that you could join us. But you are known for your work with teenagers, college students, persons who are seeking jobs, and even young professionals, helping them to really build their confidence and communication skills and even their professional presence. Now, let's just talk about that and just let's get it started.
Absolutely. So, Polished Presence Consulting is the name of my business. I launched it last year with this exact program. It was my flagship program, which was Etiquette Week. So, where we take the whole week and we immerse young people, whether they've just graduated from high school, on their way to college, about to embark on a new venture, such as a new job. And we talk everything that makes them a little bit more confident, whether it's to have that first one-on-one interview, one-on-one meeting, or whether it's a scholarship interview, whether it's a job interview, what have you, and to build in them the things that they think they have already, but to work on it, to make them shine a little bit more. So, like eye contact, maybe they're handshaking already, they know how to handshake, but what about it? Are you doing it the right way? Is it the little small, queen handshake,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we call that? Or is it a super intense grip? Is it necessary? What about your dining skills? We can elevate those things. So throughout the week, we cover all of these things through interactive sessions, getting to know each other, having networking sessions where they can meet and greet outside of that classroom. And then
Excellent.
on the Friday, we bring it together by having a guided luncheon at Blue Cilantro, yummy. And we will walk through what we would have learned throughout the entire week. So having conversations over a meal, whether it's an
Mm-hmm.
interview conversation, because that can make or break that
Of
interview or
course.
whether or
And
not
I
they
don't
get the
think people
job or whether
realize
they get
that.
what.
Yeah.
hmm hmm So I am here to talk more about that, but also to answer any other questions that people may have in general as it relates to etiquette, as it relates to protocol. And that is exactly my lane. It will be held during the week of the last week of July, July 27th through 31st
Mm-hmm.
at the Intergenerational Hub,
Right.
9 a.m. to 12 noon. And that will be during the daytime for the young people, 16 to 19. And then in the evenings, I'm offering it on Monday nights and Wednesday nights as
Mm-hmm.
two separate sessions. You don't have to take them together. If you only have
Okay.
time to just to come to one, you can come from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday and or Wednesday. And then on Friday, it's during the daytime, 11 a.m., 11:30, I think it is. Yes, until 2 o'clock. So it's a, a lovely location at Blue
Mm-hmm.
Cilantro. The staff there is always willing to work with me and put these things on. So they give us a wonderful rate where you can eat at Blue Cilantro. I keep
Nice.
pushing that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. It's
everybody knows.
delicious. It's delicious. But I think that creates the ambiance, what exactly etiquette is about and exactly the purpose of your program. That atmosphere is just ideal for what you're trying to, the
Absolutely.
skills that you're actually trying, that's a part of the program. Now, if you would
Yes.
allow yourself to just go just a little bit into
Mhm.
more focus and explain the program, breaking
Mhm.
down what participants can expect from the program and its delivery when it
Yes.
comes to, let's say, confidence, professionalism, communication, social skill sets, and even workplace readiness as we what is built into the program as, and I can do those one at a time. Let's start with confidence.
Well, essentially, what presence do you bring into a room? When you first enter that room, are you just rushing to sit down? Are you rushing to join a group that you're already familiar with?
Mhm.
What about your first impressions that you present to someone when you
Mhm.
enter a room? Are you looking straight ahead? Are you smiling? Something as
Mhm.
simple as a smile. Whether it's a room, whether it's an outing, whether whatever that social or networking opportunity brings to you. So it's a
Mhm.
part of building up your confidence where you stand a little taller, you be a
Mhm.
little bit more confident. And I say that word, but it's a lot more than just that. It's how you look at someone, how you present yourself. Are you
Mhm.
shaking hands or are you observing the precedents in the room? Not just necessarily extending, of course, there's an art to this, not just
Right.
extending yourself, but are you walking up to a minister, for instance, such as someone as you, and are you
Mhm.
saying, I am so and so? Are you allowing that person to speak to you first? So there is a particular way that you do this.
Ah, you
Mhm.
see.
Yes.
Oh,
So we
oh,
so we practice these things. So I put on name tags on them that someone could be President Obama. One of them could be I don't know, Michelle Obama,
mhm.
another known individual, or even the premier of the Cayman Islands, the governor of the Cayman Islands. And we enact these roles where they pretend to be brought to this person,
Mhm.
networking with the individuals. How do you introduce yourself? Yeah.
Uh-huh. And that can transcend straight into how you engage with your peers. That's not necessarily someone that's high profile, but it speaks a lot of you because with that confidence comes a level of professionalism.
That's the eye contact says it as well. So are you shy? We can work on that. What about your tone, your voice? Can you be heard or are you mumbling? All of these things speak to what you just spoke to. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
building up your confidence on your first impressions. It's building up your confidence on your handshaking. It's building up your confidence on how you leave a room as well as how you exit a room. How do you sit when you're dining? How are
Mhm.
you handling your knife? And it's more than just knife and fork. That's always the
Right.
fun part of it, of
Right.
course. It's always important. But how are you talking amongst your peers? How are you presenting to your peers? Are you speaking negativity? How are you managing bullying situations? These are the things we cover and we talk. Listen, these young people, they have a lot to share. So, where
Mhm.
I think I go into the room to cover a particular topic from A to Z, we
Mhm.
get sidetracked by them bringing up what happens in your world today. What is affecting your world? What is
Mhm.
affecting how you're progressing? Whether you're just leaving high school, you go into UCCI. Are you ready to enter college? Are you ready to mingle? How are you going to socialize? Are you the person who's always on your electronic? Are you
Mm.
always going to be on your electron? Do you expect to do? No, now you need to extend yourself in that presence. And
Mhm.
these are the
Mhm.
comments I get a lot from parents, that we want them to come out of their shells,
Get out of
you
their
know,
rooms, get
be
off the games and that sort of stuff, and socialize, which builds your social skills going into the next heading.
exactly. Exactly. So of course we have our comfort zone, and many of us are introverts. We get that. But when
Mhm.
you have to now go out, be interviewed, go out, socialize, whether it's for the job, whether it's what have you. How
Mhm.
do you conduct yourself? Are you prepared? And of course, at the end of the day, Sabrina, it's about practice.
Correct.
Practicing. And that's why we do that throughout the entire week, where we talk about practicing. For instance, the dining. Do you know how to toast? Do you know when to toast? Do you know what to say during a toast? We practice these things. We talk about these things. I have them write notes as well. A lot of people have forgotten about writing a thank you note, something as simple as that. It goes a long way. It speaks to you a long way to look at something and say, oh my goodness, somebody wrote me a note with their own
Mhm.
handwriting,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
so,
Mhm.
so
Oh,
those are
wow.
the things we do throughout the week. And it's very engaging. It's very interesting to learn from them as well as what I have to present to them. So
Mhm.
I look forward to that.
Now, let's dabble a little bit into workplace readiness, because everything that
Mhm.
we actually spoke on so far can
Mhm.
actually go into the workplace, but being
Mhm.
prepared,
Yes.
workplace readiness. What are some of the takeaways in your program
Mhm.
that those persons who are registered or registering, now they're hearing what it's about, will
Mhm.
take away with them as it pertains to workplace readiness?
I already mentioned first impressions.
Yeah.
That's that one you cannot take away. And first impressions are formed within seconds. So you're
Mm-hmm.
showing up to the workplace every day, whether you're used to being in a particular office, you're being judged. You're being looked at and thought, well, who dressed you this morning? And one of the
Mm-hmm.
things I tell my whomever I've spoken to throughout my many years, whether it's a Miss Teen contestant, a Miss Cayman contestant, etc., that mirror is your best friend. Did I say
Mm-hmm.
mirror? Mirror. Your mirror is your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Check your mirror before you step through the door. Do a twirl, turn around, look at the back. What's happening back there? Are you checking your teeth? Are you
Mm-hmm.
checking? So when you
Mm-hmm.
go into the workplace, how are you dressed? How are you presented? Are you dressed for the specific role that you need to play? Or are you dressed to
Uh-huh.
go out later? These are things that people need to understand. There's a time and a place for everything. Absolutely.
Right.
I'm about that. And go ahead. Go ahead. I can go
Sorry,
on
I
for
didn't
days
want to
about this.
miss this. I didn't want to miss this because we got a question that came in via WhatsApp.
Mhm.
It's asking, how does someone get over social anxiety when meeting Caucasian people? The individual is not prejudiced, but
Okay.
just don't know how to relate to them.
Mm, interesting. Repeat that question. I want to make sure I understand it fully.
Can, Auntie Sabrina, can you ask Melanie, how do I get over my social anxiety when meeting, I quote, white people? Question mark. I'm not prejudiced, but I just don't know how to relate to them.
Yes. It's about being culturally aware. You do your homework. you do your homework, you research. If you're not familiar with a particular sect or a particular group of people,
Mhm.
I'm not going to tell you to immerse yourself because obviously you have your phobias, but everyone is a human being at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Yes. So you have to think back, what is causing you to feel the way you're feeling? Was it a bad experience? Was it something that your family members have been beating into your head that, this group of people are a particular way and they're
Mhm.
different? It's all about exposure as well. Coming out of your shell, trying to understand and just mingle a little bit more. Go out to different places where there are groupings of people, such as Cayman Bay, for instance. Just go
Mhm.
and walk around, be able to introduce yourself to someone who is different from you.
Mhm.
That can help. You take small steps. You're not trying to embarrass yourself by all means. But this is something I can work with someone one on one on if they're interested.
Oh, really? Well, not being the professional, I leave that to people like you, but you don't know how to relate to them.
Mm,
That to me, what sticks out is the fact that one mentions the pigment of their skin. So
yeah.
that seems that could be just a little bit deeper
Maybe,
of
like I
because
said,
at
it
the end of the day,
depends.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
And
maybe you
it's
may want
and
to
it's
sign up for this for this for this
and
course.
it's not and it's not just that. For instance, in Cayman, we're not used to seeing Muslims, for instance, right?
Right.
Where they will wear is it the burqa
The burqa.
on,
Hmm.
right? And so if they come and sit next to you, how do you feel about it if you've never been exposed to such a culture? It's
Or
about
whatever
being
you're
open-minded
exposed to is
uh,
seeing on the media and yada yada
as a
yada, and you
negative.
build your own perception of these people. So yeah, I guess it's
Exactly.
similar. Very
So you got it.
interesting.
So we're on that small island space where we
Hmm.
encourage our young people and everyone, get off the rock every now and then. Go and
Hmm.
immerse yourself in a different culture. Expand your knowledge of the world. And these are the things as well that we talk about in these sessions.
Okay, very interesting. Some of times the small island development states, this is a negative for us because we're just so used to our own culture. It's not, as big as going into one of the metropolitan areas, going to a different culture, going to a country that has, even though we are diverse, it
Mhm.
still is very small at the end of the day.
Let me tell you also, we are small, but we should not lose ourselves.
Ay, yes, you hit the nail on the head right there.
Who
You're
we
quite
are as
right.
a people, don't ever lose fact on sight of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Profound, profound. Now
Mhm.
let's go into the segment where we talk about who it's for and why at this time that it matters, because your program in itself serves teens, college students, recent graduates, job
Mhm.
seekers, and young professionals. Why these
Mhm.
groups?
Because it's summertime. That's where the idea was born from. Because it's summertime, there's so many other activities happening for the younger ages. So,
Hmm.
what about this group who are now about to embark on a different step in their life?
Hmm.
Here's an opportunity to capture them. Of course, the timing is never perfect, it's never right.
Correct. Hmm.
I can speak to them any time of the year, but perhaps this program is just that catchment during the summertime when there's nothing else happening for that particular age group. So that's where the idea was born from. And being able to offer it as well during the evening times for the person who may not be able to attend during the daytime. They can come at night
Hmm.
if they're booked up during the daytime. So by all means, I am here for every age, not just those particular ages. I
Okay.
am able to work with young children as early as 7. Because sometimes just a little too early, you just allow them.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So as early as 7 and as late as 97 or 107, you they're covered. I
No,
got
I
them
know
covered.
the stages of life does come with confident gaps and professional expectations of well,
That too.
again, and
That too.
all of it has to do with one's level of exposure, one's surroundings. And,
Mhm.
there are transitional stages in regards to this. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
For sure. So, exactly. Leaving high school, now going into the workplace. There is an absolute guided um need for a guide, if you will.
Right, right.
So where they would have been used to wearing the uniform, now are we ready for dressing appropriately for the
Mm-hmm.
workplace?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't address an individual as, yeah, man, and no, yes, sir, no, sir. These things you would have already learned at home. Your manners come through. You're now in a workplace, it's a professional setting. You're dressing for the part, you're playing the part, and you're mindful of the rules and the guidelines from school, but now you're going into a different area. What
So
about
it's not
college?
cool to walk up and say, yo, brethren, bloods.
Exactly.
That even
Leave
sounds
that.
weird coming from me.
Right? Leave that outside. Leave that outside in your own personal setting. But now you polish yourself up to go in the professional setting to make a difference there, not only just by your mind, because we know you're already brilliant, but by all means, now you're working wherever you're working, whether it's the Department of Environmental Health, there are guidelines there. Whether you're going into the banking sector or the tourism sector, there are guidelines, and you are deportmenting yourself to adjust, right?
Mm,
What about if you're going overseas to college, not just
yeah.
here, local universities? Are you ready to leave the fold of the home? Are you ready to now share with someone who's culturally different from you a room every night? How prepared are you, whether you're going overseas to the UK, wherever you are internationally, because the
Hmm.
world is our oyster, right?
Correct. Hmm.
And so we want to ensure that we're touching on those areas, getting you
Hmm.
ready for those next. And I'm also giving them handouts and takeaways. I'm trying not to do as much paper, but
Right.
I tried that. It didn't work. They want something to feel and touch and to refer to,
Hmm.
and they'll
Hmm.
get it electronically as well, just to save on paper. But by all means, I'm not just talking to them through the week and leaving them stranded. No, I'm here as a constant guide to them. We created our chat groups. We're still connecting. I'm still touching bases with them. In fact, I've had a few of them who said they're actually coming back this
Really?
time
Oh,
around.
that's
Yes.
nice. That speaks volumes in itself because, you know, parents often say that they want their children to
Mhm.
have more than academics, right? And we
Yes.
see you see the environment that they're in. That's life. You
Yep.
get tossed out of university, get out of high school. Maybe you're going straight into a job. Maybe you're going to college or something. Whatever the path you're on,
Yes.
you're not going to be insular anymore in that educational setting. You're going to be exposed, right? And
Mhm.
we are hearing parents saying that they want confidence, communication, and presence. What are
Mhm.
parents telling you when they actually engage?
Oh, I'm hearing a lot. They're sold by the program by all means. They're like, oh yeah, so and so needed, and oh yes, my little Johnny needs this for sure to come out of their shells, to be able to walk and talk the talk, not just while I'm talking to them, but when they're now in their own environment, whether they're playing sports and they're out there with their buddies having a fantastic time, how is their voice projecting? What about their eye contact? Is it maintained? And it's not that you're staring people down. No, you're not doing that. You're just making sure that when you're talking to someone, you're also speaking to them with your eyes. You're
Correct.
connecting with them on that level. You're sounding a little louder to be heard. You're not shouting, you're sounding your words out so people can hear you. You're walking a little bit more strong and confident, and ensuring that that's something you're practicing all the time. So I'm hearing
Mm,
that a lot from parents where they're doing their part, the schools are doing their part, but in terms of being able to remember not just your manners and not just your dining skills, but what about your self-esteem?
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
No, I
those are
know.
all connected.
I know you're doing this because this is universal, and what the takeaways from what I'm getting from you will take you straight into life. But when you
Absolutely.
look at social media, when you are actually into the circles of some of the next generation or young adults or teens or getting into that age, Are you seeing where some of this etiquette is being either diluted or more accepted, but yet when some open their mouths, it can be very dismissive because of how they're communicating doesn't necessarily correlate with how intellectual they are, but just how they communicate could make somebody have a different perspective, see them differently.
Exactly, Sabrina. Exactly. And sometimes it's best not to say anything. It's best not to
Oh
say
boy.
anything because you just don't know. You do your research, you make
Ah.
sure you do your research. And many times when I've connected with a lot of my cohorts in this industry, you learn just a little bit more than you thought you knew, especially where that's concerned. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you pretty much try to ensure that you stay on top of your craft. You're
Mm-hmm.
always looking and researching and leveling up your skills
Mm-hmm.
so that you can help people such as that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you're
But
actually,
but
go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry,
No, that's fine.
half the time they don't know that you're actually helping them.
When
Because
does
you do
that
it
tick? When does
because
that light bulb go off?
you do it in a subtle way that they don't realize it. So, for example, someone could be having an off day where smell is concerned.
Okay.
Take it from there, right? You have a certain way, a subtle way of addressing these things without them knowing that you're actually dealing with the problem, for instance.
Oh,
Hmm.
interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well,
You
there's
try
lots
not to
of
be rude about it and you try not to embarrass them or hurt their feelings because sometimes they really don't know that their arm smell
mm-hmm.
is not the best, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily saying that they haven't done their due diligence for the day. They've just been out in the sun and they've been what have you.
Or it's a
And it's
culture.
and sometimes the young
Ha-
people are not aware of it as well. So I've worked with them throughout the training sessions and I'm mindful. And I make a joke about that, for instance. And I said, please let us not smell you before, and in a good way, your cologne. Let's not smell you around the corner. And on the
okay.
flip side of that, be mindful of using a little, too little,
Mm-hmm.
none
Okay.
at all. Yeah.
Oh, so you do it in a direct way, indirect way. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Without hurting feelings. Yeah. But you're right. Culturally, some of those folks are not aware, and culturally, it's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
in our world, it's not okay because it affects everyone, and everyone usually look to me to solve that problem.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Or
Now,
come
oh,
to me and
is
tell me, please address it to them, to that person. Of course, then, yeah,
then you have
I'm
to have the
okay.
difficult. Have you ever
I'm
been
okay with it.
misunderstood knowing that you have a job to do, a task to do? You're trying to be as professional as you can, understanding
I'm
there is a way
diplomatic.
of dealing with people for to preserve, with dignity. But
Absolutely.
have you ever been in a situation where it's been taken wrong?
All the time. All the time. But you take it in stride because you understand that everyone is different and culturally everyone is different as well too. So I usually ask questions first. So it doesn't come across as though I am trying to judge you or I'm trying to make you feel bad or embarrass you. I usually ask, well, is there a reason why you're doing that versus that? Kind of sorta, and then we get into conversations about it.
Mm-hmm.
About
Mm-hmm.
maybe try it this way instead, or have you considered trying it this way? So it's etiquette.
There we
Let's
go.
put it that way.
Well, let's capture some of the comments that are coming in here. And Alfred Real
Okay.
was saying, "I'm very common flux pass. I think I'm getting that flux pass. I see when
Faux
meeting
pas.
faux
Faux pas.
pass faux pass
Faux pas. Faux pas. Faux pas.
faux pas. Okay,
Mhm.
you got answered anyhow. Is when meeting someone while you're seated and you shake their hand. Oh, while they're seated and they're standing
Mhm.
What's the right
Yes.
protocol for that?
But remember, I just said sometimes you have to ask questions before you assume. Maybe the person knows that they're supposed to, when you're shaking hand to hand, you're standing. It's usually you stand when you're shaking hands, all right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something wrong with the person that they cannot stand in that moment. Maybe there's something in their lap. Maybe there's a baby in their lap, and
Mm-hmm.
you're walking up to them and you're extending yourself to them
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
using your hands. Obviously, I'm talking about your hands. You're extending your hands to shake. Don't assume that they're readily available to shake hands. One, two, they may not even want to shake hands because in this day and age, COVID era, they probably prefer
Exactly.
to fist bump. So don't always assume and get your feelings hurt or in a tizzy because that person has not shaken your hand. Now, it could very well be that perhaps the person just does not know, but they should always be mindful. Whenever you're shaking hands, you stand face to face and you shake.
Hmm. Now there's a certain protocol when certain dignitaries enter a room and even come over to you.
Mhm.
Like, let's go here. Like our premier, like our
Correct?
governor.
Yes.
It is customary, correct? And I guess internationally correct that you stand once you're able to. Of course, seniors, people with limited mobility, we wouldn't expect that. But again, small island development states, it shouldn't matter whether or not you and I went to high school together or you married to my first cousin. In this case, you're actually respecting the role that individual hold. So that does not or shouldn't dilute how when that person holding that title walks
Mhm.
into a room. Can you expound on that, please? Because this is something nationally that I don't think a lot of people even realize because of the level of familiarity that we're seeing in our culture and how small we are.
Okay. Before I answer that, allow me to take off my etiquette hat and put on my protocol hat.
Okay. See the difference? Look at that. Look, see, look at that. There is a difference.
Yes, they are both correlated, but one is protocol and one is etiquette. And they both work hand in hand. But to answer your question, protocolly, it is accurate and correct and the right thing to do when the premier, the governor, etc., enter a room, you actually stand. You're supposed to stand. Now, are you worshiping that person? You're not. Are you showing deference to that person? Not really, but you really are. You're just showing respect to the title, to the
Uh-huh.
person holding the position, not to the individual who you went to school or who you hung out with later in the evening last night. Doesn't matter. That person has a very important title. That person should be shown that due respect. So you
Mm-hmm.
stand, and they will be the first to tell you, no, 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 don't stand. That's okay. That's all right. We didn't hear them say that. We still stand, okay? And we say, and they speak first. They shake their hands out their hands first. They put up their hands first. We do not extend our hands first. Let them extend whatever it is they want to extend. So whether it's a fist bump, we reciprocate. Whether it's a handshake, we reciprocate. Whether it's a hug, we reciprocate. Whatever they do, we reciprocate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the right thing to do. Now, we just stand briefly. They'll probably want to talk. If they do not talk or they've moved on, we resume what we were doing before they came into the room. But higher authority, that's how you enter in your head. Higher authority. You're showing them their respect, their due diligence. Absolutely.
And that is not limited to the individual. In this case, it's there. And I'm repeating this for emphasis. It's the
Absolutely.
role that they hold, the position that
Absolutely.
they're actually holding.
That's right.
Wow.
And
Because that can,
especially,
go
mhm,
ahead.
go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, no, no. Especially in Cayman, where the minister, for instance, will no longer hold a title once they've demit office. They're no longer the minister, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
now Mr. or Miss.
Mm-hmm.
So it just goes into to show you it's not the person, it's the title.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Well, let's go in here because the comments are coming in. And, I will expound just a little bit on that. It just goes back again to this casualness. And like you rightfully say, oftentimes we will hear those persons in those positions says, oh no, it's okay. And
Mhm.
that is not okay, is what I'm getting from you, because they may be just being polite, but you're actually showing from a national level, it
That's
is
right.
protocol. It's the right thing
Absolutely.
to do because of the role that they are holding.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't
Absolutely.
think twice if it was somebody from Buckingham Palace coming here to stand.
And
It's the
that's where
same
the challenge,
position with your locals.
that's his challenge. The Queen, the King, their representative here in Cayman is the governor, right?
Right.
The premier is our highest local official, if you will, premier after the governor. Again, it's the title. And then there's that order of precedence that goes on from there. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Damian Henry is weighing in. Good etiquette is not about being perfect. It's about making others feel respected, valued, and comfortable. It can be very demanding on culture, setting, and circumstances,
Well,
especially
very
if you're
good.
not accustomed to it, right? Plain
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
plain and straight is also weighing in. I raised my child to know that good manners can open doors that money cannot. Now that's profound. It's true.
Very good. Very good.
Alfred Real is saying the essence of etiquette is consideration for the other party.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's thinking about others, not just yourself.
Correct. And Live Happy is weighing in this evening, saying one of the problems we have is Caymanians is the fear of saying no. Hence, why we are in the situation we are today. How can we say no or decline professionally? Mhm.
Wow. There's that hospitality side of us, our warmth, always willing to go that extra mile without even being asked. That's just who we are. I don't know if that'll ever go away because that's just who we are. But how can we decline or say no professionally? Well, it depends on our own limitations. Are we overextending ourselves just to be nice?
Mhm.
And then we're miserable at the end of the day.
Wow.
Right. So it's just this matter of simply saying, I'm so sorry, I cannot help you. You don't have to say, nope, go do it yourself. No,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, we're not going to say that. Right. So it's just being polite and declining and not feeling guilty.
No is a complete sentence.
Period. After the no.
Yeah, it's you don't owe it. And I say that, you know why?
Mhm.
Because Live Happy, you may have missed an episode where I was speaking about overgiving and pleasing
Mhm.
everyone instead of pleasing yourself. And that was some of the takeaways that was in that episode. And you hit
Yes.
every nail on the head when you said what you said. Don't feel guilty.
Mhm.
Overgiving and you're angry about it. You're giving, you can't pour from an empty cup. But in this case,
Exactly.
saying professional, pitch, tone, circumstance. But one thing you need to know, no, unfortunately, not at this time.
I'm
That's still
sorry. Yeah.
no. I'm
And
sorry, not at this time.
putting yourself first at the end of the day because you they're doing for every single person. You go to
Correct.
bed and you're like, oh my God, what did I do for myself? Did I accomplish anything for myself? Do I feel any better? And we are always there wearing all the different hats in the moment. The adrenaline's going every day, day in, day out. At some point, you
Yeah.
will break. You will break. And I think that's a lot of Caymanians where we're at now, where we're feeling broken. We're feeling broken because we have said yes a lot more than we've said no.
Now, let me tell you, the students of Sabrina Speaks, you're hitting it. It's almost like a recap of that episode that we had last week, talking about exactly all that you're saying there. So at least you know I'm researching this stuff and she's just regurgitating it. And you know, yeah. Melanie, if
Yes.
I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna send it to you. But everything you're
Mhm.
saying there was what we
Yes.
brought about in the discussion. And that was a very lively episode. The comments were coming
I
through and
love
people
that.
were putting the real life scenarios of
I
what
love
they
it.
went through, the overgiving and how they felt, and after releasing and just being honest and just getting to a point where they can answer for themselves and not feeling guilty,
Hmm.
how free they felt. That was the
Exactly.
biggest takeaway.
Exactly. You're being true to yourself. Unfortunately, we wear that facade over and over and over. And that's also pulling it back to the present, to
Mhm.
the week. That's exactly what I'm teaching these young people as well. Be your authentic self. Be your authentic self. It's hard, especially when you have the peer pressure and the groups and you want to be a part of this one and that one and you don't want to be laughed at or shamed.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a journey, and that's where we as parents, we are here to help our young people go a little further. And I'm also here with them, trying to help them
Mm-hmm.
go a little bit further beyond what home life would have done for them, and to guide them, to direct them straight. They may not always be perfect, and we're not asking them to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Not at
Mm-hmm.
all. We're just asking you to really look within yourself. Are you hanging out with somebody who makes you feel good about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What is happening? Why are you with that person? Is it because they're the popular kid and you want to be seen as popular? Is it okay? Are you exercising what you would have been taught at home, such as your manners, which someone just wrote? It carries you so far
Mm-hmm.
beyond your academics. It opens
Mm-hmm.
doors for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just be mindful. That's what we do and what we are as a Caymanian people. Our
Correct.
manners, our
That's
respect.
right. One thing I was
We
saying
wear
the
it with
other
pride.
day, exactly. I was saying the other day, when we look at, we think there was something came up about gangs. And I said, with me working on the ground for so much years, even some of the young men and
Mm,
questionable young women as well that I've engaged, that it would be labeled as the gangsters, the bad boys. There were always, yes, ma'am,
mhm.
miss,
Oh
ma'am,
yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
please stay where you want. And even with my visits to His Majesty's prison,
Yep.
Miss Turner, I never felt, that's one thing that I feel even the baddest person that has that label on the road isn't a bad man. One thing
Hmm.
you got to say with them, they got manners.
They got manners.
They got
Yep.
manners. Mhm.
And you got time for them now that they got a little bit mad. Now that they're showing manners.
Exactly. So they realize very early in it opens doors for them, even if you're like, oh, he's questionable, and you should never.
Mhm.
They ain't silly. They
It
can read you.
softens your heart a little bit.
Exactly.
Like
India,
you were
I said,
taught
look,
right.
exactly. And look, whatever decision you made, that's you. It does not
Hmm.
really define your
Just
future.
fine.
But
That's
the
right.
mere fact that you are coming with me and you're addressing with me respectfully, I look beyond whatever labels you have on you. It's
That's
just
right.
your approach. And
Hmm.
that I must give kudos to a lot of our men and women that are labeled as
Yeah.
wayward or got issues. That one thing we got to be proud of at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Real Michelle is with us this evening, and she's saying manners are merely unsaid tokens of respect, both for the person you are, and I'm thinking too,
Mm,
yeah, as well.
mm, mm.
And Live
Love that.
Happy is weighing in. What works for me also is reading the room, and that determines my attitude and approach.
Oh my
I have a
goodness.
yeah, I have a different attitude on the sports field and a different attitude in the office. Just for example, really, you see how environment actually impacts one's behavior. That's interesting because
So
you
on the
tend to
sports field,
morph to survival.
the game face is on.
Yeah. And in the office, I wonder what's in the office. Like professional, the boss has the upper hand. You can't beat me a pickleball.
Yes, yes, yes. And she's right. Reading that room. So when you enter the room, not only are you mindful of the impression that you're given, but are you taking a moment to just look around the room, to read the room,
Right.
to see exactly where will you be heading, not just going to your familiar comfort zone, not just heading to the buffet table.
Why does the people breed? Because my sugar drop. They want a piece breed. I can start. I can start first.
You're reading the room, you're ensuring that you are in the right place, that you're dressed appropriately for all these different good reasons, you
Yeah.
know.
Like I've
Mhm.
been waiting all day for this. I can't wait for to do all these speeches. They want a piece breed. They want a piece breed.
And that's also what we talk about, Sabrina. Do not go hungry. Have something in the car, have something on the way there, a little piece of bread, so that you're not headed straight to people's buffet table and they can see, okay, you waited all day for this. Usually we do, but you do not have to wear that on your face. That is a given. Okay, at
Worst when they pull out
least.
another piece of paper
That,
to wrap it up in.
so we talk about the individuals who were at the session. What if they were invited to Government House and
Ah,
they have to sit at the table with the governor? Do they know what to do? Do they know how to do these things? Are they standing around with drinks in their hand? What about the canapes that are passed around? You're standing there, the food's in your mouth, but yet you're mingling. Networking is not all about just the food and the wonderful drinks. It's about the company. It's about the conversation. It's about selling yourself as well while you're there. Because people are there for a particular reason, for a short amount of time. What impression are you taking there? What impression are you leaving with?
Talking about being at the governor's house with those canapes and comforters, and you trying to be all diplomatic and all that, and they come around with
Um,
that, and you just want to use. There's a reason why I'm going here, and you just want
well,
you just want put that one little toothpick, and you want hope that you can jab
well.
that, and three come up at the same time. That's not polite, right?
No, it's well, I won't say no, I won't say yes. Well, you and I will talk about this, Sabrina. It's so tempting. And it's okay because that tray is gonna pass back another 10 minutes
Hmm.
and you want to make sure that
Or you just elbow the little lady because you know some of us, that they're often, you don't need to come around with them other things, but you see them comforters, you just make sure you circle behind me and make sure that toothpick you give me is extra long so she can pick up three. Now
well,
that's
listen.
wrong. Bottom line, guys, I'm deliberately doing a
Hmm.
real life
Hmm.
scenario here because
No,
you're
it's true.
also could
You
be
have your
meeting
favorites.
dignitaries and
Mhm.
talking, and you have to be conscious when you're speaking that you're not
Absolutely.
having fireworks coming out of your mouth of food particles
Both
as
hands.
well.
Yes. And that's important when we are talking about having those impressions being made that they know. Next time you see Miss Sabrina, walk fast away from her. But no, I'm joking. Essentially, those food, those canapes are always so delicious, aren't they? Oh my gosh, the
Mhm,
shrimp.
mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
there's a way we can, have the napkin and kind of discreetly put them inside the napkin. You got it? I'll talk to you about that.
Is she
So
telling
that
me I need lessons? Yeah, she know. Okay.
no, about having
Mhm.
them so that nobody knows that you have more than you need to have at the point in time that you don't think.
But girl, after a long day.
Yes, exactly. And that's why you're only there for a certain amount of time. Not too long. In and out. See you bye.
But this is real. And I mean, like, okay, since we're going there, and I'm going to get to a lot of more of the comments as well. Uh,
Yeah.
how do you really, like somebody was saying, how do you say no, right? But how do
Mhm.
you tell somebody, like, there's food on your lip or there's something hook up in your teeth?
Like, let me ask you, how do you think you should do it? How do you
Just,
think you should do it?
I would just say, here's a napkin. Can you just, and I'll lean in. There's something on your
Mhm.
teeth. Or you
Right.
just allow them to just talk and you see this piece of spinach or
No,
something on
that's
there.
that's painful. And they would appreciate you more for taking the moment to the 2 seconds that it took to simply say, excuse me, you have something in your mouth. I don't know if you want to deal with it here or go to the bathroom and deal with it.
Mhm.
That type of thing. Yeah. So
Okay.
you don't do it loud and say it in front of everybody, not unless it's your circle, obviously,
Mhm. Mhm.
but you're mindful. And
Okay.
my circle are always beating me up because I'm that girl with the toothpick or the floss, always.
Right,
I'm
right,
always breaking
right.
that out.
Ah,
But, oh, yes, but it's always, I'm not saying at these events, I'm just simply saying my circle know that I'm that person. I am not going to be without that ever. If I'm
okay.
stranded on an island, those things are important to have for me. My
Okay.
floss and my toothpick. Yes.
We
So
got it.
essentially,
Go
okay, go
ahead.
ahead. I was answering you, but I think I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. I got
Okay.
it. For
Okay.
me. And poor Concord. Alfred Real is saying, can you ask Miss Melanie what to do when eating out with people and ethnic fatigue sets in after a
Oh,
large meal?
Lord have
Well, we
mercy.
saw what he was just what he cut way just now. I'm surprised he even has the strength to type.
I mean, he was really polite about it. Ethnic fatigue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We could use another term, but that's okay. We'll stick
We
to
good?
because of exactly what you're putting on, girl. Ethnic fatigue. Hmm. We don't want to break
Now,
your protocol.
Alfred, you need to be more specific with that question. Where are you? Give me a setting. Give me a setting. Challenge me with this one. Are you talking about at home
Oh,
on a Sunday dinner where everybody's hanging around and it's okay to just pop a button open? Or are you talking about at the government house? You've eaten way too many shrimp pieces that have just passed around. What are you talking about? Be
So
more
it all
specific.
depends on where you're at, because we
It
know how
does.
it
It
is at the
does.
family gatherings. When that sets and you
Yes.
just find the first lounge chair or a hammock and you're like, you don't care what domino game, what loot is playing, you just gone to make that come up. But it
That's
may not be the same thing at a formal dinner with dignitaries, delegates, or if you're at the
Mhm.
governor's house for a big dinner or private
Yeah.
function.
Well,
It's a total different.
that's where the frou-frou-ness come in, right? Obviously, you're not
Mhm.
gonna eat till your belly busts at those functions. You probably leave there and go somewhere else to
Some
top
drive to
up.
see me. You know how that go, because you got to be so dainty and polite, and you're like,
And
look here.
polite and dainty,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we just though, but essentially, yes, that's the answer. You pretty much assess your situation. You're obviously being aware, being diplomatic of your surroundings, and knowing when and where and what and how and why when to do these things.
He's disgusting.
What he said?
Niggeritis at the restaurant. I'm reading it. I didn't break your protocol. I'm very obedient when it comes to reading the messages from my students. I'm sorry.
Thank you
They're
for the
telling you.
saying. He was
Yeah.
very specific. We can't get that wrong. Absolutely not.
Let's go back to Damien Henry now. Let's put some efficacy into what he has to say. He
No,
says
but no,
different.
no, 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 Sabrina. We gotta answer the
Okay.
man's question
Okay.
now.
Okay.
You see, he's talking.
Niggeritis
So
at a restaurant, he says.
can I just say, okay, mango tree. When you've eaten, what are you gonna do? Aren't you gonna pay and just simply leave at
No,
this
you gotta
point
do
in
like
time?
this because other people there probably bust a belch and get a toothpick.
Well, that's Caymanian. We love that. Yes, bring it
But it
back.
isn't what it's not the environment you're talking about. You know, got a toothpick or you use the straw and you do the flossing bit. You see what you said though. I'm glad you said that.
Tell me.
That's Caymanian. But does
Mm.
that make it right?
No, it doesn't. But there's a setting. If they're at home, if it's a domino game going, I mean, we don't want to change that. That is what and who we
Okay.
are. Let it happen. Let it be natural. There is
Please note,
nothing wrong for the young
I am
people to
just
see
being
that.
devil's advocate here, okay? Because we have all
Absolutely.
life, and we got a caller now, so this is going to be very interesting. Hold on to your
Alfred,
socks, and
I think
yeah.
we answered your question, right,
Oh,
Alfred?
well,
I think
then
so.
you probably get that from the horse's mouth. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Good evening. I just want to clarify what I meant, right? So we're out in a social setting. Now, I can't help it. I really can't help it. When I eat, I fall asleep
Mhm.
afterwards, right? And, I don't want to be rude or, seem like I'm bored of the company or whatnot.
Mm.
But, I mean, we're out. And,
Mhm.
sometimes I just, like just crouch in one corner and just, just kind of look like a saying prayers. Right? And
Mm.
that's what I'm asking. Like, I don't want to be
Mm.
how
Can,
do I do I tell
you-
my do I tell my company, well, I have to go home now, or like how do I deal with that? Because I don't want to fall asleep on it. That come in.
Well, I
well,
hope
can
to
I,
Christ it not a date or a first one. Cause you done.
That sounds
Alfred,
like
Let
can,
let the
can, can I
professional
just say
answer.
the unprofessional answer? Okay. Don't order the heavy food, Alfred. Don't order the starches that you know gonna put you there in that situation. Just order light. You can order it to take
yeah,
to
but
go and have it at home, maybe that stuff, but don't overdo it or even have half the serving because you don't want to fall asleep. How are you getting home, by the way? Are you driving?
yeah, I'm driving. No. I've hallucinated on the road driving home. So I mean, I
No,
know how that goes.
no, when you
Um,
eat after you've fallen into your sleep state. That's what I mean.
that's what I'm saying. Like I drive home, but when I
Uh-huh.
drive home and I'm tired like that, sometimes like I see turtles swimming across the road. Sometimes so I have to, keep like one matchstick under my eyelids and just to keep my eyes open and blast some music. But But I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's like the bread is there, they always and the bread's free,
Oh
and then they
yeah,
have the garlic,
Casanovas.
and it's
Yes.
okay. All right. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for answering my question. I really do appreciate it.
I hope I've helped you to understand that the food is always good no matter where you go in Cayman. It's going to be good. Just have a to-go plate. Don't try to overstuff because, hey, what about after activities? Don't you want to still go out and enjoy the rest of the night?
What kind the man going sleep? The only way he going is Cotton
I
Spring
want my
nightclub.
belly rub. That's all.
And that's what I'm
Cotton
trying to help. Okay.
Cotton Spring nightclub or some hammock. He may not even make it
No,
off the
I don't
front
know.
veranda.
Oh, no. I want my belly rub and I want to go sleep. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? You try go find your boxers and look for that duster in the back of that door.
But
Well, good evening. Oh my God. I told you you would love the students here. I told you that. Oh my goodness. Davian Henry is weighing in on it. He says, different hats, different expectations, same character. Adapt to the role, stay true to yourself. And that is a juggling act when you hold certain positions. And sometimes, Melanie, you have seen where persons who have made it at certain level in society struggle with exactly what Damian Henry is mentioning.
Sure enough. And especially where they want to maintain their title in a dignified way, but then they don't want their bestie or the person that they went to school with to feel any less because that person has to now upskill to say Mr. President or Madam President, what have you. But you signed up for the job. You signed up for the job. You have the role to play. Unfortunately, we in our society, we're so much used to everybody being on the same level. It's still a learning curve. We have to be mindful that what we're doing as adults also is mimicked by our young people. And so it's
Correct.
harder for me to teach the younger people to not call a politician by their first name. Well, my mama do it. I'm sorry. Well, maybe I need to talk to your mama as well. It doesn't matter. When it's the handout time, it's Mr. and Miss, isn't it? It's not just first name anymore. So you just be mindful when those individuals go overseas and represent us on the highest levels. They're not called by their first name. They're called by their
No,
titles.
correct.
Then you have been there, Sabrina. You're not called by your first name. You're
I have
given the
seen
respect.
I have seen people who had a hard time actually adjusting to when I was a minister and addressing me as minister. And they're like, you calling her minister? Like, she's Sabrina to me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they were just like, they grappled with calling me minister. And I didn't take it personal. I actually pitied them because I said, I can't blame you. We failed educating from a national perspective the importance of this.
Wow.
But when
Wow.
you cannot actually get over the fact that I'm not your friend when I'm here, I'm not your family, I'm actually the minister
Absolutely.
at certain places,
Absolutely.
you got to suck it up.
You're
But that speaks
representing.
more on them than it did me. But I actually hurt for them because I'm like, you're limiting yourself instead of you actually listening and trying to learn, understand why the role changes. You're actually like, who she think she is? But yet you voted for me.
Yes.
Kind of makes you wonder. But I didn't feel, and this is why I applaud you for putting together this program. I'm hoping that stuff like this could be introduced into the schools more, that we could have more of this. So it's not like you're doing me a favor. It's not like, oh, well, because she get in, who you think will call her that? Or you see, just this alone kind of make you say, oh boy, that's another one that we failed. That's because they don't even understand.
But they're quick to do it to others who are from
Correct.
overseas.
Correct.
Why not do it to our own? We're not
Correct.
trying to say we worship you. We're trying to put you in the specific role that you have now signed up for and that you have. And even after you no longer have the role, you still put the respect on it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Not in death,
Interesting.
but in life. Not just
Of course.
in life.
In death, you didn't know about it. So that's why we need to have you on again, because that whole thing about protocol. Yeah, I'm happy that it is a choice when you die, because I want to know how you feel about me now, not after I die. I ain't gonna know about it. But that's another episode of sure, of
Amen.
course. The real Michelle Teresa is saying manners is about respect for others, but also signals one's own level of self-respect. And it all comes down to how we want to be perceived in a world that is full of judgment. That kind of somewhat breaks into the part of the response of persons just getting used when somebody has elevated themselves. And
Absolutely.
well, what do you think? Now they made it director of this department. Me and them went high school together. You know, I know me and them
Right.
used to hit the streets hard. What do you think? Because they're my boss? No. And they cannot get out of the fact that that was when we were teenagers and we used to hang out by right. And we
Back
used to
there.
do this and we used to go
Now
chocolate
you're,
box. And now you've
yes,
elevated yourself.
that's right.
Respect that I've
Yes.
earned it. Respect
Yes.
that and
Yes.
come along and share that respect with me instead of living into you know how
Yes.
much we tap, you know how much we steal out the window. No,
Come
that
out of there.
is get out of
Go
there.
forward. Move
Get out.
into the future, move into the present and into the future. Because that's exactly the bad example being set for those who are now coming up. Right? They have that type of mentality in their house, teaching them all the wrong things. And then when they get into the workplace, they then get into issues because of things like this.
Exactly. And then they look at us that we're not cultured. Oh my God. You're just,
Right.
oh, that's how you talk. And mind you, they could be doing the worst, but they know how to cover that when they're in the work environment, which is why I'm so happy that you have this part in this program of how one should conduct themselves in the workplace and even being prepared for interviews, because
Yes.
they may take the same vibe that they have at a lootie board, at a domino table, at the latest rubber dub event, how we just, you know, doing a happy hour vibe. And that's how you go because you recognize somebody on the panel that they were in the same jam the week before.
But everyone is
No.
human. We're human.
Correct.
Yeah. Let go of
Yeah.
that. You're not trying to say they cannot be out there and enjoy themselves the same way we are. They're individually, they're human beings at the end of the day. So now that you're wearing a specific hat, you put on a specific role, obviously that person also has to be mindful of how they project themselves in the public's eye
Correct.
as well. Right?
Correct.
There's
It goes
certain
both
things
ways.
that you don't do as much of, or you don't do it anymore. Be mindful of who is watching. We have our young people watching. They themselves are saying, I want to be that person one day. So what are you doing about it?
But I human, you know what you think? I was partying before I got elected. What you what you trying to say?
And we're not saying to not continue to party. It's what are you doing while you're partying? What is your social media showing? And we cover that too as well too. Some of those email addresses that these young people have that are now being shared with the new employer, absolutely, or even they don't make it past the interview stage, actually, if the email address is wrong, if it's just seen as absolutely out of this world. They have to be mindful. Your social media handles, what are you posting on social media? Something as simple as not simple, excuse me, what is it, the US embassy, they're looking at that information as well too.
And what
Right?
you're subscribing to and so forth.
So it goes beyond just trying to be cute. It goes beyond that. It follows you. And that's where that first impression discussion, it comes up very first, very early on in the course, in the workshop, when we talk about introductions and then we talk about first impressions. And most of the times, I don't just tell them what I'm going to tell them. I ask them, what do you think? And how do you do this? And show me and demonstrate what is it that you do? How do you introduce yourself? How do you handshake? And then we work on correcting or if need be amending. And then they practice amongst themselves so that they can feel it, not just talk it, but we're walking that walk
Correct.
as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Alfred real, but I know his Wi-Fi probably chipped out when we were discussing this or ethnic fatigue sat in, but he
Oh, he's
mentioned that part of etiquette is how we smell as well, not only how you look, how you you have to smell good as well. So
Absolutely.
I think his Wi-Fi chipped out when we were discussing that because of
But
what he had digested.
he made a good point there. It's not just how you smell. You have to be mindful of the smells. Remember, is it overwhelming to the point where it's stuck in your nose so much so that you can't even smell it, that you cannot tell that you smell so strong with that cologne or Caribbean
Mm-hmm.
men. Smell good. And most of the times when I'm hugging somebody, I come back with that. I wear somebody else's smell. I don't know if you're like that, Sabrina, but I do. Whenever I hug somebody, I'm getting their smell all on me. I don't
But
know
you gotta
why,
get
and I
mine
hate
because
that.
I have a signature one. I'm sorry. I remember Mr. Dacus. He used to wear Old Spice, and there's no body chemistry like Mr. Dacus with that Old Spice. And I used to like how Mr. Dacus used to hug me back in the day, and I would smell that Old Spice until I get home. That's one of my fond childhood memories. And he was just a nice man. He's so rest in peace. But yeah, that
Listen,
Old
yeah,
Spice, the only person comes back to mind is Mr. Dacus.
listen, that Old Spice still going. Okay, you don't see the guy on the horse, Old Spice.
Hey.
Some ridiculous know what he was up to, but
Hey.
I should have used
That
him in the
took us
commercial.
back for a little bit. Yeah, for true, for true. Oh
But
God.
it's not just a good smell. I'm sorry, a bad smell. It's also a good smell. A good smell also, just be mindful of
Yeah.
overcompensating sometimes. It's just a little bit much. So we talk about that as well during the course, during the workshop.
Mm-hmm. Andrew is saying, good evening, Sabrina. Blessed Wednesday. Finger food and banquets etiquette. No
Mm.
finger licking.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was faced with that just very recently, where
Really?
the buffet trays and people just putting their hands in, dipping out the fruits. It's almost as bad as going to Foster's and people are doing the same thing on the buffet's table. Oh my gosh. You would never eat at those places if you have to think about it, but let's not.
But they do.
Essentially,
Sorry,
they
stupid
do.
question. The mere fact that you're discussing it.
No, but it's just wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. I'm sorry.
There's a
There's no other
reason they
way to
have
say
the
it.
spoons and the thongs there, that you use
There
them and
is,
not your
and
fingers.
the napkins, and no double dipping either, right? So why are you licking your fingers? Are your fingers that freshly washed? Think about
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah. Even with the
Okay.
children, and those are the discussions I have with children on a daily. You're licking every single finger. I get it. That's what kids do. But why are we as adults doing the same thing? Hmm.
Practice makes perfect. And even certain things that you may identify your son, your daughter, your partner doing at home, and how do you actually have those conversations with an adult in your place and you know better, but you're
Mhm.
trying to save them from
Right.
embarrassing themselves because they're so comfortable of always
Mm.
doing it home that you want to
Yes.
make sure that they are aware because again, practice makes perfect. And if you're just at some point you can be yourself in your own space, but
Absolutely.
you have to
Yeah.
respect those that are in the same space as you as well.
Mhm. So going back to that comment that I made earlier about being your authentic self. There's a time and a place for that authentic self to come out. So
Mm-hmm.
you're at home, you're sitting back, you have your nice bread and butter all laid out. You take the bread and you slather it 15 million times with the butter. And you have your Milo. Picture your
You
Milo.
do. Oh, you got to dip it at the Queen's table. You got to dip that. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's your authentic self at home.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're out, formal dining. You don't do that. That's a no-no.
You cut it with the knife and fork and you put it on the piece. You
No.
put the bread on the tip of the fork and you dip it into the little tea. You put it, you just not using your hands.
Okay, no. Where was that done? I have to ask.
No, I'm just saying if you want to be all bougie,
No, no. And again, for me,
I would
etiquette
never do
can
that, Melanie.
always. I'm asking for the example of where you saw it being done, but that's all. Because I would love to see
Oh,
that.
I got
Um,
lots I can share, but no, I wouldn't. But yeah,
okay, so essentially, etiquette. A lot of times, people think of etiquette as old-fashioned. It's way back there. It's not something
yeah,
that's current. It's not you trying to be someone else. No, be yourself. Be yourself, but be a polished version of yourself that you would have been at home, all relaxed, hanging out. But you're practicing these things at home so that when you are out in an official setting or a formal setting, it comes naturally and
that's
you don't
it.
have to pretend and put out your little pinky. That's not necessary.
That's
Absolutely
it.
not necessary. So when you're eating your bread and your butter, and I'll give you the tip, your roll or your stick, whatever form that the bread comes to you, you break off a piece.
Mm.
You Break off a piece that's small enough to fit in your mouth, not huge, right? You're avoiding that because why? You're dining, you're having conversations. Remember, you said about the food coming out of your mouth. Let's not do that. You do not butter the entire slice, the entire bread roll. You break off a piece and you butter each piece at a time as you put it in your mouth.
But them little
You
squares
don't do
so
the whole
small.
right. But you're mindful of as well that there'll be more bread to come around should you want more.
Okay.
But I won't give too much away and to confuse you and get you out of your comfort zone. It's a setting rather than just tell you that. It's a setting so that it can make sense, right? A lot of
Never
people
cut
don't know.
bread with a knife, wake up Cayman is saying, and we're gonna
No,
go back to this one.
you're using your hands. You come into the table prepared. You're washing your hands. You're making sure your hands are clean. You're coming to the table. I wouldn't say use a sanitizer because then when you're putting it in your mouth, you're tasting the actual nasty
Yeah,
taste
yeah,
of the
yeah.
sanitizer, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you're washing your hands and you're making sure that you're now dining with clean hands, ready to present yourself at the table, whether you were invited as a guest at a table or whether you are the guest of honor, whether you are the host at the table. All of these things matter. The setting matters.
Mm.
The setting matters.
Yeah, Andrew says at a banquet there and special dinners, how do you utilize the 3 forks? Yes. I see people grapple with that all the time. Which one is the right fork? Is it from
Absolutely.
outside closer in, or is it
Yes.
from inside moving out? Meaning, when I say
Right.
inside, the fork closest to the plate and move
Right.
out, or do
Right.
you start with the fork furthest away from the plate and move
And
in?
move in.
Please explain
Absolutely.
that. Please
Absolutely.
explain.
So essentially, dining etiquette has its own another life. You can sit at the table and you can decide how long, by looking at the menu, how long are you supposed to be there? How long are you supposed to be there? Are you going to be having 5 courses, 3 courses, 2 courses? How many forks are at the table? That can determine it as well, right?
Mm.
So when you're looking at the table setting, I don't think you'll see 3 forks in one setting. It depends on where you're actually dining and what the occasion is. You'll see the 2 forks, which would be the salad fork on the outside. On the inside of that would be the dinner fork. In some other settings, you'll actually have something else, not just those two, or the order would be reversed where the main course fork would actually be on the outside and in the inside of that would be the solid fork. It depends on where you're dining.
Mhm.
But the usual rule of thumb is from the outside in,
Mm.
from the outside in. So whatever is on the outside, you look at that and you think, okay, am I going to have soup? Is there a soup spoon? Am I going to have salad? Is there a salad fork? Sometimes you'll have a salad fork and a knife, a salad knife. Sometimes you'll
Mhm.
have a dinner fork, which would the one knife actually. And
Mhm.
sometimes the dessert fork and spoon are actually on the table or they bring them out afterwards. Sometimes you'll also have the seafood fork. So
Mhm.
it depends on what the setting is for sure. But by all means, you will be working from the outside in. And you also have other place settings that matter in the moment, depending on where you are and depending on the level of the
Dining.
spaciousness of the
Yeah.
dining.
Mhm.
Correct.
So your bread plate is your bread plate. Your bread plate is not for collection of boons or anything that you've chewed up and you just don't want to swallow to collect. And you don't stick your chewing gum on the plate either.
You put it in a napkin. Now, you put it in a napkin to throw away, not in the beautiful, nice napkin that they have to now go and wash and probably throw away because the napkin is stuck with gum. Please
But
don't
what if you
do
have
that.
no napkin? Can you just tear the program?
You can be very discreet and find something else to put the gum in. In fact, why sit down at the table with the gum in the first place?
Because we walked in with it,
Sometimes
we just wanted a fresh breath, and because there could be cocktails before, and you want to keep your
and
breath.
try to just lose it before you get there because we have this habit of clapping with the gum. So then in a particular setting, just lose the gum before you get where you're going.
Okay.
Yes, I do it as well. I use it to freshen my breath sometimes, but be mindful. We're going to be sitting down and people are going to be judging. How am I chewing this gum? And it's going to be loud. So do not do it.
And for those who just chew and they clop anyhow. But Aliano waited because you got that
Oh
skill.
my goodness.
Aliano is saying,
Yeah.
what level of smack of the lips is too much? Boy,
Comedians
that good.
all around. I love
Good
it.
boy. Oh, yeah, that little gravy, but good.
Mhm.
The only little thing missing from this piece of breadfruit.
So it depends on where he's having food. Where is he eating? Because that smackeration is real. It's real.
Exactly. You can hear it like across the room. Oh, but it's annoying. It is annoying.
Thank you. That's exactly it. We tell the young people no smacking. Chew with your mouth closed.
Yeah.
And you know it's
Somebody.
smacking can still come up with the mouth closed, right?
Ex-
Smackeration. That's my word.
yeah. And especially if you're trying to keep up with the dentures, because sometimes they go faster than the. Did I go there? Oh, First Lady says, swallow the gum then. Look, you must know me because I've done that a couple of times. I'm still here. I made it to 52.
Exactly. You know
made
that's
it.
one of the rules that we got growing up. Never
I know,
swallow the
girl,
gum
I had
because
to
it can
do
stick
it.
to all
I had to
kinds of
do it.
body parts inside that don't make sense. Oh
And you
my,
put it in
okay.
the roof of your mouth so that it doesn't go around when you're speaking. But yeah, Connie Bonnie Budanunas is saying, I put it on a napkin and place it in my purse. I mean, you wanted him to walk with that little piece of napkin. Go
Wow.
girl. But yeah, for those who, there was something here about tea. Wake Up Cayman was saying, here in the UK, if you're making a cup of tea, I have learned one should not cling the inside of the teacup with the spoon. When you are stirring it, it is a, call it,
Faux pas.
fox pass,
Well,
pas, stir
faux pas.
only, stir only the center. I saw that on a YouTube thing the other day as well. Where you don't hear it at all. You just
No.
it's like it's dangling
Lightly.
in the liquid, and you
That's right.
lightly do it or
That's right.
back and forth, up and down. So, but not for it to spill over the edges, of course. So you have to be gentle, right?
Tea is a different thing as well too. A whole learning. You really it blows your mind when you actually start to delve into how to hold the teacup, how not to put the teacup to your lips. I mean, it's more about how not to do it than to do it, rather than to
Oh,
enjoy this. And it's wonderful. If you really are into it, it's wonderful. That's where you wear your fascinator and you'll do the tea time with whomever. We have so many events around Cayman that do these things, and it's so wonderful to be able to go and just observe and see how it's being done.
I can assure you,
But
somebody went to that tea party and they asked for a little bit of Horlicks or Milo. I could. There's one. There's one that asked for a little Milo. There has
but
to be one.
Sabrina, they're in the wrong place. You're there for tea, not.
Tea is hot. Any hot beverage.
That's true. I
We in the
okay.
Caribbean, it is what it is.
It
Little bush
is.
tea, little fever grass.
And if you're Oliver, you'll pull it out of your bag.
Exactly. Just bring the hot water. Oh my goodness.
Always come
Aliano.
prepared, okay?
Oh, let me tell you. Aliano said, if the food good, I go and smack so hard, I be sounding, oh geez, African.
Can I make a request? I would love to have Aliano attend my workshop.
I
I would
bet you
love
that'd
to
be the
have
last
you.
one. You're gonna need vacation after Aliano.
I want him there. I would love to be able to connect with him. Please
You
call
hear that,
me.
Aliano?
Let's talk.
Call her.
Let's talk. Yes.
Andrew is laughing. Oh my gosh. Remember that when you're not at home with
No one to
no one to criticize you. I guess that's
That's
something
true.
I was saying. Oh my God.
And that's a good point too. May I just point out that if someone sees me out, they're immediately thinking I'm judging. I'm not judging. I really am not. Because I'm not perfect and I do regress sometimes, but I know better, right? So as long as we're there to have fun and have a good time, I'm not there to judge you at all. It's only in those settings where you have a question, you ask me, I'm happy to share that with you privately, not for everybody else to hear, unless it's a group question. And then obviously I'm happy to share it always.
Okay.
But please don't ever think I'm out there judging and making fun of anybody. Not at all. We all
Well,
learn differently.
Connie is admitting that she don't stir her tea. She doesn't stir
Mhm.
her tea. And we got a first lady here. Paisley says, my granny would slap you for that mixing tea with
Yes.
with all that
Yes.
noise. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. The spoon better
Mm-hmm.
not clink the bowl, and you're there enjoying your frosted flakes on a Saturday morning, and you're hearing, "Stop making all that noise." I'm like, that's when it tastes good.
I could just say one word to you. Well, no, two of somebody that we both know and loved dearly. George
Hmm.
Sims.
Oh,
We didn't need no alarm clock. Boy, you could hear him mixing that tea in the morning. I mean, I knew when he was going to work because my grandfather, he did that. And I think he did it to annoy the entire house. And
because he's making tea, and the tea gonna taste good. Sabrina, what are you talking about? That's when
George
it
Sims,
sounds and makes delicious sounds. It just
hey, George Sims had that down pat, man. Andrew says the English have a style when drinking tea that they have the pinky sticking out and sometimes hold the saucer underneath.
Andrew, in what year and era was that seen? Recently? Because the pinky, holding out the pinky, is no longer seen as something you should be doing. Let me just break that down. But it'd be interesting to learn where, if anything at all, that was done recently. I'd love to learn.
Oh, really? So, okay, now that we've modernized everything, that is
Mhm.
not acceptable anymore with this pinky sticking out. Where the heck did that come from anyhow?
Not at all. Not at all. I heard something, and I stand to be corrected, that it was where you would place the crumpet. I don't know if that was a joke. So you're holding the tea, and the crumpet would go on. The
Are
crumpet
you
being the main
kidding?
donut.
Uh-huh,
I
yeah.
have no idea if it's real, but that is what someone said it in a humorous way. I think that's cute. I think I'll take that one. But I know there is a actual um there's a reason that you do that, or you did that. I think in the historical context, it symbolized a certain class
Okay.
who would hold out their pinky, or it symbolized something to the waitstaff. I'm not sure. I don't have the answer
I'm
on that
gonna
one.
look at Bridgerton and see exactly how they do it. On
Don't go by
Netflix?
Bridgerton, because it wouldn't be.
Yay! It's trending, isn't it?
Yes.
We got
It's
turned to Bridgerton, Andrew. That way we go
it's
look at.
it's a cute story to tell based upon the real truth, but we get the facts right around here. But yeah, so the crumpet story. See if Bridgerton follows that, or if it's a
Okay.
class.
Let's
But
see.
I think it signified I actually looked that up some time ago, and I can't recall the information. But I think it signified a class, and I know a certain individual, male person, who actually does it. I think he does it to annoy me. If he's No, he would not be watching, but his wife would be watching, and we know that individual, Sandy, holds up his pinky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see him doing that. That is him, just to annoy the life. He too polar opposite. Yeah, just to annoy. Oh my goodness. Well, as we wrap up here, oh my gosh, do you realize you've been talking for almost 90 minutes?
No, because this has been a
Yes,
fun,
because you're having
fantastic, fun
fun.
time.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank
Well,
you.
here we go. First Lady Paisley says, I love Cayman Islands so much. I have learned so much things here. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Oh,
Oh,
that's so sweet. Thank
oh,
you
that
so
is sweet.
much. And
Oh.
Live Happy is saying, where should ladies place their handbags when dining in a formal setting?
That's never an easy question, because we do not like our handbags on the ground, on the floor.
I can't
And
get no broker, so go ahead. Go ahead.
a lot of times etiquette experts will tell you put your handbag under the chair. It varies. Essentially, when you're going out to a formal setting, those of us who are guilty and we carry the kitchen sink with us everywhere, we downsize. So obviously we go with a smaller size, then it's easier to maneuver.
Like a little
It's
clutch
best
or a little,
like a
yeah.
little clutch. Absolutely. It should not be on the table. It should not be on the dining table at all. It might get messed up. It might be in the way on a cluttered space. If it has a handle, if it has straps, hang it on the chair,
Chair.
on the chair. Sometimes you'll put it behind you on the chair and push, or napkin placement is very important when you're sitting down. You put the napkin in your lap. Sometimes you can put the clutch under the napkin in your lap. So it
Okay.
varies, it depends, but be mindful not to put it on the table. Put it someplace out of the way, but manageable enough where you're watching your purse, you mean not losing track of it,
Um,
and it's not something that will get in the way of the wait staff either. That's always important. Do not hang it on your chair where you know the wait staff is actually
gonna be
taking
knocking
and
it off,
receiving.
or yeah.
Might be not and be in their way. Yeah, absolutely.
Couple times, based on the size, it has become part of the decor on the table, but has never interfered with the wait staff.
On the table. And so what if the gravy spilled on your beautiful Cayman
No, that
Islands
was
Coat
so,
d'Ivoire
the tables
handbag?
were so big, you know, they just went, but it became a part of the piece. And I was not alone, because there were other clutch that became a part of the decor, and they blended in
And there,
nicely.
and
But
it
I'm happy
depends
that I
again.
learned something today, and I would never
It
do it
depends
again.
again. Let's say you go somewhere like Legends, for instance, and you know Legends, they have the booths. Where are you going to put your handbag? Are you
Yeah.
putting it in the extra space next
No,
to
it'll
you?
be on
That's
my
okay.
lap or in
Or
between
on
me
your
and the
lap.
next person. But I'm talking about
Formal
ballrooms.
dining.
Yeah, because
Yes,
normally you just want something to hold your phone, your key, and it's that small that it will not get in the way. And
exactly.
putting it on the ground or something like that, sometimes you're not even thinking about it, you would leave because it's that small. But
Mm-hmm,
I'm guilty of it. I'm
mm-hmm.
sorry if I offended
And we all are.
anyone, but
We all are. It's not,
it
yeah.
has become a part of the decor. There's a lot of
Mhm.
questions coming in here. Let's try to get, oh Lord.
I
Aliano is
love that.
saying hot tea is nice. Is nice to be. Can I put some Hennessy in it? Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Oh.
But it's hot tea that he's referring to. I didn't think she said she was a mixologist, though. So it all depends.
Thank you for that trust and knowledge that I don't
Oh my,
have. And it's okay.
yeah. Damian Henry saying sticking out the pinky when mixing or drinking tea comes from the 17th century European aristocrats trying to balance tiny, handleless cups of hot tea imported from China.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. Never heard that one. Good to know. Good to learn.
Okay. Alfred is saying,
Mhm.
Miss Sims, please tell me the truth. You're so nice. Yes, so nice. Please come back. Oh my gosh. Yes, so
Aw.
nice. Please come back. You have a beautiful smile and a very pleasant personality. And that's because I didn't share with you that he's loving your backdrop. He loves your bookshelf. He fastened. Yeah. He all behind your head. He probably zooming in to see what kind of books you got. And you say, oh Lord, what we could do with him? Anyhow, Andrew is saying,
Thank you. Thank you very much for those beautiful and wonderful comments. I will be back just for that.
Andrew is saying, I saw that a while. He's answering to the pinky sticking out. While I was studying in England so many times. And yes, I believe it is a society thing, is what he's saying. Alfred
Okay.
also goes on and says, what about the Birkin?
Oh,
You
boy.
can't put a Birkin on the floor.
See, Alfred his Wi-Fi's dropping out and in, right?
Yeah,
Dropping
chipping
in and
it.
out.
Starlink not even picking him up this evening. He got all that blooming food he just cut with.
I did say Dropsy.
Yeah, drops. Andrew is saying, I cannot speak for the women, but men are carrying man bags on their shoulders now. Interesting.
right.
So you may actually have to change your approach, because now we're seeing men carrying man bags now.
Right. So where are they putting them when they sit down to eat? Not on the
Same
floor.
principle applies.
Absolutely. The same principle applies universally. You put your bag out of the way, especially do not get in the way of your wait staff. They're the most important person to you at that dining table. You don't want them making any messes. You don't want to get in their way. Just let them do what they're doing and stay out of the way. So your man bag, your woman bag, keep it out of the way.
This First Lady Paisley is saying they sell handbag hooks that can hook to the table hanging down. Yeah, and you're
They
quite right. I've
do,
seen a lot of people take those around. Yeah.
and that's a
Well,
very good point. Thank you. That's a very good point. I have gifted those so many times. I think they're a
yeah,
wonderful invention.
well appreciated.
I don't know why I didn't come up with that invention myself, because I would be a millionaire, gazillionaire by now. But they are
Correct.
great pieces when they work.
Right.
I tell you, I carry the kitchen sink, and sometimes it's a little too heavy for those things, and they keep falling. So you
Mm-hmm.
find an alternate, or sometimes the table is too thick for the hook. Sometimes they cannot adjust, and I know they make adjustable ones. So just
Right.
be mindful. But it's always good to walk with those. Those are a wonderful addition. Thanks for that comment.
Well, Mel, time flies when we're having fun. I'm going to give you an
Thank you.
opportunity to remind persons about this. Polished Presence Consulting is presenting Polished Presence Etiquette Week of 2026. Please share with our listening, viewing audience and all of our very engaged students here this evening contact details and registration reminder. And this is an opportunity for you to just give your closing remarks.
Thank you very much for having me on today, Sabrina. I am so honored to be on Sabrina Speaks for the first time. It was a fabulous, fantastic time, and I'm very passionate about this subject, about protocol, about presence, about etiquette, especially with our young people. Your flag behind you, it speaks it all for me, where we as a Caymanian society, Cayman people, we are very, very much happy to go along to get along, right? But at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, we have come from a place of manners, and our homes definitely do that very well. But what about after you've left home? What are you putting out there? What are our children displaying? Because they represent us. Our
Mm-hmm.
children represent us. What are we teaching them? What are we putting in their mind space while they're under our thumbs at home in our houses? Are we
Mm-hmm.
telling them about our history? Are we telling them about our culture? Are we displaying it? Are we showing them the things that they need, that they are going beyond our homes to represent us? Yes, we are. But then we sometimes fail to acknowledge that etiquette is important. Manners beyond us, beyond our scope, they
Mm-hmm.
matter. Self-confidence, building that up, standing up right, practicing these things all the time, every chance you get, you're practicing it. I must tell you, I used to be a big sister with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of the Cayman Islands. I used to be on the board, and I found, you know what? I don't want to be on the board anymore. I want to go and be a big sister and make a big difference. And when
Mm-hmm.
that young lady, I had her from 17, we were with each other from 17 till she was 18. When she said to me something, Sabrina, it just blew my mind, and I felt cold chills even now talking about it. She said,
Mm-hmm.
Melanie, you remember I loved KFC. I
Mm-hmm.
loved KFC, and I took her to KFC almost every time we were together because that was her thing. And I always said to her, we're going to take these plastic knife and fork, and we're going to take you home with them. And I need you to practice. I took her to Bamboo. Remember Bamboo? We
Mm-hmm.
did we did sushi at Bamboo. And she said to me when she was 18, she's like, that's one of the things that she will always remember and take away with her. That I always said to her, practice with your plastic knife and fork at home. And then when you go out in the dining establishment, you will be so much more comfortable, so much more um at,
Confident
at
and
ease
yeah,
at
yeah.
ease to
Mm-hmm.
know you're
Because you
not
got it locked.
necessarily watching to
Mm-hmm.
see what the next person is doing.
Doing.
You can pretty much guide and lead the way because you're confident, you know what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, you're at ease with
Right.
what you're doing. So that's what Polish Presence Etiquette Week is about. It is teaching the young people a little step more than what you would have taught them at home, parents and young people, being able to step into the workplace, being able to step outside of the academia setting, and outside of Cayman, whether it's locally or overseas, young people ages 16 and 20 plus, offering you this opportunity to be a little bit more confident, to shine a little bit more, to polish up a lot more. And these things take you beyond the classroom, that the week. It will take you lots into your future, that you'll be comfortable knowing that you took the time to do it as a camp. Almost, it's not really a camp, but during the summer,
Mm-hmm.
preparing you to go on to be able to know how to maneuver yourself around the dining table, know what to do in the networking situation, know if you're invited to government house, what to do and how to do it, and be able to say, you know what, thank you so much, Miss Mel, Miss Polished, we're happy that we had you in our time frame, in our space. Contact me on 936-4477. Email me at info@ppcetiquette.com, or find me on social media under Miss Polished or Polished Presence on Instagram, on Facebook. Send me a WhatsApp message. I am here to take care of those types of polishings that is necessary. And beyond the week, I'm also available. I'm available for that one-on-one setting. I'm available for the group setting, for the professional, for the corporate setting, whether it's a protocol question, whether it's a protocol matter or the etiquette matter. I'm here. Please reach out to me. I'm happy to help.
And I think this is one of your past students, Alex Evanks, is weighing in this evening. The camp has made a difference within my daily life.
Oh,
So there you have it. Testimonials right there. Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Thank
Well,
you. That's what makes the difference for me, to be
you
able to say
see,
you want to come back, or that you're still practicing these little tenets that I would have taught you, or the, just
correct.
and it's what I would have learned. I'm not making any of this stuff up. I am not. This
Mhm.
is all done from an international level where I would have learned it, and I've been practicing and doing this stuff for almost 20 odd years right now.
There you go. Well, Alfred, really bestest friend, is saying, come back, please come back. And it is an excellent show today, he's saying. Excellent
Thank
show today,
you.
he's saying. So there you go. Melanie, thank you so much for joining me today. We even went over a little bit, almost by 10 minutes. So I want to get in trouble with the boss now. But yeah,
Thank you.
it has been a pleasure. Thank you for sharing. And even though we digressed, we put it into reality of some of the
Thanks.
takeaways. I shared with you some of my flaws. We gave examples of what we have
It's
been
all good.
exposed to. And yeah, I'm just hoping, and I wish you all success on this. I'll continue to push this flyer leading up to the 17th of July being the deadline for
The
registration I'm
deadline.
getting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can
So
definitely know that I'll be back, especially to talk more about protocol and our Cayman culture and being proud, being a proud
of course,
Canadian. So thanks
definitely.
for
And
having
this
me.
also
I am
goes
happy
out.
to be here.
Sure, thanks. This also can go out to those private gatherings when you're inviting government officials. There's just a certain way of introduction. Churches,
You know it.
big nonprofit organizations. You know what?
Yes.
We're going to plan another episode that
Please.
speaks directly to national protocol, and we can
I'm
break
happy to
that
do
down
that.
and dissect that, because I have seen it and it has
Yes.
been a disaster. And I thank you for availing yourself, and maybe you can get some of those corporate entities calling you after we showcase and highlight that, because they may want something more in depth. So there you
Happy to
go.
help. Happy to
Melanie,
be
thank
of
you
use.
so much. Much
Thank you very
appreciated.
much.
Take
Take
care.
care. And I appreciate being here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There we go. I'm so happy that we had her here to talk more about this etiquette of 2026. And I'm hoping that you can sign up. I'll share some more with you on the in my community segment, just in case you miss it. But please don't forget to share the link so that you can go back and watch this episode, because there are great takeaways here that was shared here this evening. There were a lot of examples, as I alluded to earlier on, of situations deliberately that I said that I have even observed, or little slips that maybe I have made even in my time. And I'm happy for all of those commenting, even the call that we got, the WhatsApp that we got. We thank you for your continued participation and engagement. I know it's kickoff right now. I want to wish you all a very good evening. I just want to say, just don't take it too serious. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to go home. Talking about football here. But until tomorrow, I'm looking forward for another engaging and insightful, as having fun as we learn here in this space. Please be safe. Love you all lots. God bless, and see you tomorrow.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.